Hello, everyone. My name is LaPrecious, and welcome to my channel. Let's talk with LaPrecious. So today I will be doing a review on Blac Chyna's new show called The Real Blac Chyna that just premiered this past Sunday on the Zeus Network. Now I've looked at a lot of videos on Instagram. I've seen a lot of comments. I've seen some reviews, and a lot of people have a lot to say about this episode, especially with the kitchen scene between Blac Chyna and her mom. So to start the episode off, Blac Chyna gives her an introduction about who she is and, a little bit of how she became Blac Chyna. And then we see her assistant and her friend Treasure, who, if anybody has followed Blac Chyna throughout the years, we all know Treasure is her longtime friend, who's pretty much been there with her since she first became the Blac Chyna that we know up until now. So they pretty much went to a plastic surgeon office where Blac Chyna got Juvederm put in her jawline in order to give her a more refined and a more physique face. I mean, we all know Blac Chyna is not scared to get anything plucked or tucked or ducked on her body. She's at everything from her breast, boobs, stomach, forehead, nose. I mean, everything. So the whole plastic surgery scene, I mean, it was really nothing new for us to see because we've all known that Blac Chyna, has got numerous work done on her body. So to open up the scene, they had, the plastic surgery scene. Then China and Treasure were pretty much talking about how they feel alone, that they don't really have their families there with them, how things have changed, how they're getting older, and how their kids are getting older. The one thing I do want to say about Blac Chyna being alone, because she was like, that's why I got alone tatted on me because I feel alone. This may sound mean, but I feel like it has to be said. With Blac Chyna, we all know she's a finesser. We've seen her on Instagram post these fraudulent posts about jewelry, teeth whitening kits, weave, how to get rid of your loan debt underneath Obamacare for college, the lift codes. I mean, even though China did get paid for a lot of that stuff, we all know a lot of that stuff wasn't what it was, pumped out there to be. And then, she did the waist trainers, the flat tummy tees. And I mean, China has been a walking, pretty much a walking ad for most of her career. And then we saw her relationship with Tiger ended because he got with Kylie and then she got with Rob. And we all saw that fiasco play out all over the blogs and the news and the View and People magazine and Blac Chyna and Rob in 2016. They were just everywhere because, the Kardashians at the time was going to get their throat snatched or their wig snatched because everything that they aspired to be, they had somebody who was authentically black with black features and black aesthetics that was going to take their spot as Kardashians. And Blac Chyna, she was well on her way to doing that. She tried to get the name trademark before they walked down the aisle. That didn't work. Then she had the TV show, Rob and China. Then she had the emoji apps. I don't know if y'all remember those emoji apps that her and Rob had when she first announced that she was engaged and got pregnant, because that was one of the business deals she worked up. Because I think they were under the same company that Kim's emoji app was under. Because I remember she put out one, and Amber Rose, I think, had put out one either before her or after her. So yeah, she came out with the emoji app. Then she had an endorsement from MAC. I remember it was for like a little perfume collection they had. And I'm sure, like Blac Chyna, she probably had some money rolling in that year when she was with Raw, because she had really finally made it to the top of the food chain in entertainment. Like when it comes to the Kardashians, they're at the height of celebrity hierarchy. You can't really go any further than that unless you marry or get with a prince from Saudi Arabia or something like that. But anyways, China, she had it. But I believe that due to China finessing her way through life and sleeping with all these different rappers for publicity and then being coked out and drunk and releasing that white initials line she did with Densea, and there was a scandal and a scuffle online about that. I feel like China has really survived the aftermath of her karma. Because I mean, let's be real. When you do people dirty, you're not gonna get away with that. And I mean, China is not as innocent as she may look to a lot of people on this show, but China, she did a lot of dirt to people. Cause y'all remember when her and Rob was together, they be flaunting and flossing the ring that Rob gave her that was worth what $300,000, and she would be flossing the Rolls Royces and the Rolex diamond watches and stuff. And then like Rob had bought her a purple Lamborghini, then she bought him like a Range Rover. And I mean, they was always flaunting and flossing what they had. And it was just, and like I said, China, she did a lot. She did a lot. And then even when they broke up in December of 2016, the text messages started coming out. She called Rob fat. She said he's lazy. He don't want to get up and do nothing. Treasure saying you should just leave. But China said, nah, I'm gonna stick it out for 1 year. And if he don't fess up or fix up, then I'm done. And then Treasure was saying, we're just stacking money. She was like, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Then another text message that came out when her and some rapper, I don't remember the name, was talking about doing a publicity stunt where she would be on the red carpet and he would be on the red carpet and she was going to get paid for it. So, I mean, China has either finessed or prostituted her way. I mean, she did. Because, I mean, it's even evidence that she slept with celebrities for money. So, I'm like, China has really whored her way through the entertainment field. And she was really at the top of the food chain, let alone the hierarchy chain. But then she overplayed her hand and messed up. Because I feel like China really missed out on her awakening, period. Because the thing was is that Kylie, she stole a man. I mean, she did. Everybody knows the Kardashians steal people's men. And so China, the way the story was told from what I read, Rob was the one that went after China and not vice versa. And so that relationship was more legit than Kylie and Tyga. And China already had her, money train going. And Rob, I mean, he's a Kardashian, so he was already set. So it was like a win-win situation right there. But China, I just felt like if she thought more of Rob and even thought more about the hand that she had that was going pretty well and wasn't trying to play him and so busy getting his money, I don't think she would be in this predicament. And I do feel like the reason why she's alone because she done played everybody along the way and they got tired of it. But one thing I am wondering with China is she said that she's alone, but what happened to all those siblings she said she had? If y'all don't remember or didn't watch the Rob and China show back in 2016, there was a little family reunion scene where Tokyo Tony and China's dad had came and met up with Rob, and China was like really, really pregnant around this time. Like she was about due. And some of her siblings that came along because her mom didn't know that China had siblings that were born around the same time that she was. And that was kind of like the first time that China was really getting to know her siblings. And my thing is, if you're so alone, then where are these siblings? And where are these other people that you was taking pictures with and saying you've been friends with for over 10 years and this, that, and the third when you was flaunting and flossing them on Snapchat and Instagram. So I kind of questioned that loneliness part a little bit when they was talking about that in that scene. And then moving along, China talking about, getting herself together and how her relationship with her mom is just not panning out too well, and how Tokyo Tony just came in town and how they're going to get set up now. The thing that I'm going to focus on for the latter half of this review is the fight between China and Tokyo Tony. I feel like Tokyo Tony is mad and jealous of China because of her money. If a lot of y'all have been following China, since her stripper days up until now, or even her Rob China days up until now, her mom has been very disrespectful towards her. Like I remember even when China was with Rob, the mom of Tokyo Tony was on lives and videos saying those Kardashians are whores. Y'all mad because my daughter's a black woman. Y'all been taking black penises and this, that, and the third, and y'all been having these little mixed and black babies and all of this. Now you got a real black woman coming on the scene, and she ain't gonna have no blonde hair and no blue eyes, and that's why y'all mad because China done came in the scene and took over. And then I'm gonna write a book and expose y'all for who y'all really are, and I'm gonna publish this book out and stuff. And my thing is, it's like Tokyo Tony, you can't have your daughter get into one of the highest places to get into for celebrities being in with the Kardashians. Because I hate to say it, when you get in with the Kardashians, you kind of made it. Especially if they're not using you. If you just taking pictures and smiling and actually friends with them and stuff, well, even with the friend part, y'all know they befriend black people to suck all black culture out of them, and then once they feel like they black enough, they go and run game on the black dude, and then they be their next boyfriend. But anyways, I'm like, how you gonna be Blac Chyna's mama and you know that her fiance and future child are connected to this family? How you gonna go shoot your mouth off on Instagram like that? And I think that played a little bit in their conflict too. And then, Blac Chyna did buy her a car because I remember they took pictures. And China, I remember she had on this blue floral Adidas jumpsuit because back then she was wearing a lot of those like floral Adidas jumpsuits that they used to sell at Adidas because I have some of them. And she bought her mama a car, and then her mama was having that homeless drive where she was carrying around different toiletries and toys and clothes and giving it to homeless people and having these little homeless functions and stuff. So I'm like, and then even at the time, Tokyo Tony looked like she was kind of about homeless. And then it's like as time has gone on, it seems like China has either shed or these people have just left China and they're no longer in her life. And it's like her mama is steady stabbing at her. Like, oh, you're a rape baby. I hate you. You're a B word. You're a whore. I should have aborted you. I'm your mother. You should do this for me. You ain't giving me no money. You ain't paying me no money. I'm like, just constantly bullying your child. And I'm like, and I know that in communities of color, and it's kind of sad that a lot of us, not even just black people, because Tokyo Tony reminds me of my grandmother on my other side of the family, the one I talked about in that Vegas video that y'all seen, because she was exactly like that. Very antagonizing, very negative, all up in your face. You better do for me because I'm the queen bee and I done did this and did that, knowing good and well for most of your childhood she even wasn't there. And even when she was very abusive and caused a lot of the dysfunction and destruction that you've experienced in your life. And so I just feel like from the same person's mindset, which is mine, if somebody's disrespecting me, family, friend, or foe, you're not gonna have no say over my life or really be in it, because I don't see how parents can sit there and disrespect you, call you out your name, hit you for no reason, punish you for no reason, embarrass you in front of people, talk about you to family members, and talk about you to their friends. Say you ain't gonna be nothing, you ain't gonna have nothing unless you with them. And if you don't have them, then they can't do right in the world. They ain't gonna be nothing, they ain't gonna have nothing. And in looking at Blac Chyna's mom and how she speaks to her and talks to her, it sounds like somebody that has been abused. And when I say abused, Tokyo's mom sounds like somebody that has been abused for a period of time in her life. And whatever was spoken to her or spoken over her, her way of getting that out and getting that off of her and out of her heart is by spewing it on somebody else. Because I've seen it. Like I told you, I had a grandmother that was like that. and their spirits are just so evil and so wicked and so penetrating. It makes you run wild. It makes you go out and do this and do that so you can get that feeling off of you so that you won't feel like that anymore. And sometimes it goes into abusing other people, cussing other people out, because you've been cussed out, you've been beat over the head, you've been talked to, and your way of getting that out of your system is by cussing somebody out, beating them over their head, and telling them they ain't gonna be nothing like somebody told you. And I think that that's what Blac Chyna's mom has been through. And I think that mom feels like I got a celebrity daughter, so she should take care of me. And this is evident in the black community because a lot of black parents feel like when their kids blow up and get a bachelor's degree, or they get a basketball opportunity or a rapping opportunity, the first million they make, they want them to write a check out to them, buy them a big old house on the hill, buy them a Rolls Royce, have them decked out in furs. And my thing is, I've never understood why parents want to live off their children, because I feel like having children is a God given. It is. Even though people have children in sin or whatever, it's still God given. And I feel like if you didn't want to do for that child out of the kindness and love out of your heart, you should have gave that child up for adoption. Because I've never understood this about parents, where when the children grow up, now you want them to treat you like a child and pay your bills and and you eat off of them and don't say thank you and nothing like that. And I'm like, this entitlement. I know, I feel like you shouldn't be entitled to my money. You shouldn't be entitled to what I make because I worked for it. You did it. And if you didn't want to pay for my college tuition or pay for my school books or shoes, food, backpacks, and all of that, then you should have gave me up for adoption. That's just how I feel. Because I just feel like people like Blac Chyna's mama, they just lazy. And not only that, but I feel like people like that, they come from those dysfunctional backgrounds where they done seen everybody and their mama live off of welfare, or live off of a man, or live off of somebody and don't work. And they cussing folks out, smoking weed and running up and down the street, all up in everybody's business, acting like little Miss Hot Mama. And then, when you don't cut them their money, they cut you up, they cussing you out and saying, I'm the queen bee, I'm that bee, and you supposed to respect me and all of that. And I just feel like that's where China's mama comes from. But on the flip side with China didn't really give us anything. And I don't know if China did that on purpose to let Tokyo Tony act in her fullest wildness, other than the wildness that we've seen her, as a way for her to get people to see how her mama really is, or she was just scared that if she were to tell the truth, her mama would knock her out. Because I'm like, China, if you're a grown woman, and I've even had conversations like that with family members before where I had to get real for a minute about what was said or done to me. But I feel like if you are a grown woman, handle your business. Like, say, hey, when I was growing up, you didn't raise me, and that made me feel some type of way. When you was doing these little videos or these little Snapchat clips or Instagram lives on me, I didn't like that. Don't you know you embarrassed me? People was talking about me. People was running doing this and that. What about your grandkids getting on the computer, seeing their grandma act like that? And how you're lying on me and saying this and that. And that's why I cut you off. And that's why I didn't give you any money. And that's why I cut your car off. And I felt like if China would have said that, we would have had more to pull from that. Because I really do feel like it just made China's mom look bad. And I'm not taking up for Tokyo Tony. I'm not a fan of Tokyo Tony. But I feel like, because any smart person or wise person knows when people act a fool on you, in order for them to keep looking like the fool, you don't do nothing and you don't say nothing. And the only time you do something or say something is if it's silence, defense, pushing your hands away, moving out the way, not saying nothing or saying okay. And I feel like that's what China was doing. But I just feel like China, if we're coming to the head of everything that's been boiling over with you and your mama, you should have laid it out on the table. This would have bumped your ratings up. This would have bumped viewership up. Because it's like we keep hearing Tokyo talking, but we're not hearing China talking. And this is China's show, and China is saying, well, I want to put myself out here. I want to show people the real me. But I'm like, China, when you was standing in the kitchen with your mama, you could have had a real moment and you could have shown us the real you. But I felt like you just showed us the pretty girl that's all diamond out, decked out, tattooed up, and blinged out. I don't care, or I'm smoking. You can talk, you can do this. I ain't got nothing to say. Instead of just resolving it, I'm like, China, your whole life is played out on Instagram for the past, what, 5 years? So I'm like, why give us all of that? And then when you finally get your show that you've always been wanting and you've been fighting the Kardashians to get in court, you're not showing that. Because I hate to see people who fight so hard to get what they want, and then when they finally get it, they don't act grateful for it. Because some of y'all may not see this, but there's a lot of stuff, like I mentioned in my other video about China, that's happening behind the scenes. She's still in court over the Kardashians, about that penthouse that her and Rob shared getting torn up, the show, her countersuing them for robbing China, not getting a second season, her and Rob, having custody issues with Dream. And I'm like, China, you finally have the freedom and some type of leeway to give us what we all been wanting, and you just giving us staleness. Because I'm gonna be honest with this Blac Chyna show, I like it, and I'm glad China got her chance to tell her story. But to me, it's kind of stale. Yeah, it's kind of stale because Rob is not there anymore. Yeah, it's kind of stale because her friends like Paige. I don't know what happened to Paige. If y'all don't know who Paige is, Paige was her like big booty friend she had that used to do nails, and she was in a lot of the Rob and China episodes. Somehow her and China fell out. They're just not friends no more. Then there was another guy that used to wear a lot of like KG stuff. He was, tall, muscular, good built, chocolate black man with nice teeth. Somehow he disappeared. And I think China even got a new manager, because I remember she had a manager. I remember he was a Hispanic guy, and I remember he had like a mustache and a little beard. Can't think of his name, and he was supposed to be getting stuff. And it's like he ain't even around no more. So I'm like, what happened to all these people? And then she got, the gay guy that's her assistant, and then another one that's her assistant, and then treasure. And I just feel like it's not a lot of people to give this show some type of flavor. And I don't know if China did that on purpose so she could have all the shine, or China's life is just the way that it is. But I just feel like there's not enough juice in this show to make it juicy enough for a lot of people to be interested in. And I really don't know how China's image is going to improve or grow with this show, because I feel like when she was with Rob, her career was on a better path. I mean, China at the time, she was only known to like the urban black, I mean, let's just go ahead and say it, the urban ratchet black community that was into that stripper culture, trapping and thugging, and Rack City, this, that, and the third, with Nicki Minaj and Tiger and Young Money. But when she got with Rob, she was exposed to a lot more people, because she was getting shine from the urban community, the white community, the Hispanic community. I mean, the Kardashians, they are loved by all. It's amazing how they are on their culture vulture so much. But I mean, the Kardashians, they're loved by everybody, and when you're connected with them, or you marry into their family, you gain their fans. In China, I remember her Instagram was blowing up because of Rob. Everybody was just so into her marriage, and or well, they didn't get married, but in their engagement, and the baby, and I mean, it was just a lot. It was a lot, and so I. I just feel like, Black China. I just don't know. I mean, I just feel like she might have to marry another millionaire or billionaire that has some type of status, or she'll have to really be something big and something more than just Instagram, lashed, Fashion Nova. And another thing I want to say about Fashion Nova has been around since before Cardi B. Now, y'all know how I feel about Cardi B, but I find it kind of amazing how Blac Chyna has been modeling and doing ads for them for years and still don't have no line. And I'm like, Cardi B got a deal from Fashion Nova after not too long after Bodak Yellow. So I'm like, China, I'm like, you've been rocking and rolling with Fashion Nova for the long and you still don't have no line. And then, she models Kendra's Boutique. And I did read an article, before the show had premiered. And they were saying, well, you should do a wig line. And she was like, well, that's in the works and we're doing that. But I just feel like there's just so many things that China should have had already. And I don't know why a lot of this stuff didn't go through her mind or really wasn't in the works. But I'm like, China should have been had a Fashion Nova deal and a line. China should have been had, more than what she did other than that line. She should have had a wig line already. And, maybe a jewelry line. And she already had, the eyelashes and the face care and makeup and the lipsticks and whatever. But it's like China, I just felt like she could have had a little bit more. And I'm not sure if China didn't really have, a lot of this stuff because due to her legal battles or her being sued, and then they even had it out that her lash bar shop in Encino, California was on the verge of being closed because she ain't been paying the taxes on it. So, and it just amazes me, and I'm not trying to go on no rant because I'm going to close it up, but I just really hope China just really does it big or just does something because I'm like, it seems like the life of a celebrity, Instagram celebrity or instant celebrity, it's not that easy because I'm like, they make all this money so fast and they have these, $100,000 cars and $1 million houses and stuff, but that money is not consistent. I mean, it is consistent, but it's not long term. Like the Kardashians, they got long money. Their stuff is so steeped in landfills and in cement. They'll be rich until they're 80 some years old. But with China, I'm like, I just don't know. I just really don't know. But I hope you all like this episode. It seems like the next episode is going to be the continuation of Blac Chyna fighting with her mom. So we'll see how that goes. And then another thing I forgot to add was that Blac Chyna's mom did lie a lot on her because she lied saying that she only knows King, but she doesn't know Dream. Y'all can look up videos when China first had Dream as a baby. The mama was singing to her and holding her and kissing her and stuff. I'm like, how you gonna say you ain't seen these grandkids and you don't even know Dream? And it's pictures of you holding Dream and videos of you being with Dream. So I'm like, how? But anyways, y'all, I hope y'all like this review. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section and subscribe to my channel and like this video. Have a good day.